Appreciate all you folks coming out here to the Black Hills Harley-Davidson half mile presented by Dunlop Tires. One more race to go, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as that track's ready to go, we're going to bring them out while the starting lineup, just like we did just a moment ago. 18 riders. Nobody used a provisional start card, so we'll see who's going to be on top of the box. There's two riders that have made it that don't have national numbers. Both of them obviously will have national numbers next year. The 17F, who's our Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year leader, is qualified all the way up there in the 6th spot. And also Dominic Linder is making his second main event on that Yamaha FZ07. In this one, so there's one Yamaha in this main event. There's a couple of Triumphs, a handful of Kawasaki's, and a handful of Harleys.
Yeah, diversity is returned to AMA Pro Flat Track. We're all thankful for it. It's good to see all these different manufacturers getting involved. And of course, we're here this week with Harley-Davidson sponsoring the 75th Black Hills Rally, and certainly having Black Hills Harley-Davidson promote this event. We're all fortunate to see multi-brand racing. I think we all would agree that that's what's going to help this sport grow, and we welcome the diversity that we now have.
How cool was it earlier today to have King Kenny Roberts up here in the booth at fanschoice.tv?
I thought it was real cool. I mean, somebody growing up in Northern California, watching him, I remember being a kid and him being the Grand National Champion. I think everybody and every young dirt tracker in Northern California wanted to follow in his footsteps, and many of them did. You look at the Eddie Lawsons and the Wayne Rainey's and the Doug Chandlers.
Bubba Schobert.
Well, Bubba's from Texas.
Well, right,
but all those guys were from California, and they were all dirt trackers, and they all went road racing. And certainly Eddie and Wayne ended up, leaving dirt track sooner and going on becoming world champion. But Kenny certainly he set the standard for us all. He's still to this day the only rider to win the AMA Grand National Dirt Track Championship and a MotoGP, or back then it was the 500 Grand Prix class, known as MotoGP today. But it's still unparalleled today.
Coming up next, our next round of the AMA Grand National Flat Track Series, round number 9, we go to the Peoria TT, Thunder Valley. That's coming up on August the 16th. And round 10 will be the Don Tilley Memorial Charlotte Half Mile, August the 29th. Round number 11, we go back to the Springfield Mile Labor Day weekend. It's on Sunday, September the 6th. There's also an amateur race and an All-Star National Saturday night. And on Friday before the Springfield Mile is the Class of 79 and Friends golf outing on Friday afternoon. And then they end up at Boone Saloon Friday night, looking for some golfers, looking for anybody who wants to help out. They got a spot on your team. And Class 79 and Friends on Facebook. Check it out. And they got several items up for bid, and you can golf with the man sitting beside me. You can golf with Brad Baker, the Factory Harley team.
And Scott Parker, too.
Yeah.
This whole event's hosted by Scott. So we got two former Factory Harley riders and the current Factory Harley rider on one team. If you're a fan of Harley-Davidson Factory Racing and you like to play golf and you want to watch me and Scott Parker have a series of side wagers on just about every shot that we will hit in Springfield, come along for the ride. Go to class79andfriends.com and put your bid in.
Round number 12, the Roar on the Shore. That is Charlotte International Speedway, September the 19th. Round 13, Calistoga, September the 26th. And our final race is now in Las Vegas. And I believe we're going trackside one more time with Danny before we do our starting lineup. Danny, take it away.
Thanks, you guys. We haven't had a chance yet to talk to Brian Smith. You have a dominant Kawasaki. You've had a lot of success so far this season. What's it going to take for you to podium tonight at the half mile here in Black Hills Speedway?
Just get a good start from the second row and make some good passes up quick so I can hopefully latch onto that number 2 bike and race with him later in the race. But I think we got something for him. Just got to get off clean the first couple laps, and get up there and mix it up with him.
You're second in points. You gotta fight for this one. Do you have it in you?
Oh yeah, I got it in me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm ready to go.
All right, everyone's lining up. Brian, head on down. Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
All right, let's go with our starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, our fast qualifier, heat race winner, Dash for Cash winner from Center Hill, Florida, the Zanatti Racing Harley-Davidson. Number 2, Kenny Coolbeth Jr. Starting second from Clio, Michigan, the defending Grand National Champion, the Las Vegas Harley-Davidson Rogers Racing entry. Number 1, the Jammer, Jared Mees. Starting third from Mossville, Illinois, the Ringleader, the FBI, the Fast Boys from Illinois, and the Country Saloon Harley, number 27, Robbie Pearson. Fourth pick on the front row, the Tall Drink of Water from Oxford, Pennsylvania, on the latest Motors Castrol entry, the Triumph Bonneville entry, number 44, Brandon Robinson. Starting fifth, looking for his first Grand National win of the season from Graham, Washington, the Briggs Auto, Martin Trucking, Harley-Davidson entry, number 7, Slammin' Sammy Halbert. Last rider on the front row, the leader of the Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year, coming into tonight from Mount Gilead, Ohio, the Don's Kawasaki DPC Racing entry. Number 17F is Jared Vanderkoy. And now we move back to row number 2 from Salinas, California. Tonight he is on the TCR Harley entry. Also has got some help from Cliff Racing. Number 80, Stevie Bonzi. Starting 8 from Flint, Michigan on the Crosley Brands Howerton Motorsports Kawasaki from Flint, Michigan. It is the 42 machine of Flying Brian Smith. Up next, there's no sponsors listed, so he's testing my memory right here. It's the Scott Power Sports McGrain Racing entry from Blaine, Minnesota. It's a Kawasaki, number 29, Jake Mataya. Starting 10th from Brisbane, California on the Babe DeMay Memphis Shades Yamaha FZ07, number 66Y, Dominic Calindres. Starting 11th from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, the John Briggs Motorsports Harley-Davidson entry, number 73, Doug Lawrence. The last rider on row number 2 from Godfrey, Illinois in the Don's Kawasaki DPC Racing entry, number 23, Jeffrey Carver Jr. Now we go back to row number 3 from Acampo, California, the Weirback Racing Unlimited Kawasaki, national number 91. They call him Fluffy. That is Mikey Martin. Starting 14th, way in the third row from Eatonville, Washington, the Factory Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle sponsored bike. That's the number 6. That is the Bullet, Brad Baker. Starting 15th on the 17 bike from Crystal, Michigan, the Zanatti Racing Motion Pro sponsored Harley. It's the number 17, Hammer and Hank, Henry Wiles. Starting 16th from Salinas, California on the USC Hart Racing Stevens Racing Kawasaki, number 14, that is Briar Bauman. Starting 17th, way to the back now, from Meade, Washington on the Weebler Harley-Davidson Pro 1 entry, number 16, it is Wyatt McGuire. And at the tail end of the field, from Fremont, California, the Myers Motorsports ERT Kawasaki entry, it is the California kid, national number 49, Chad Coase. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup. Let's put our hands together for the 18 fastest dirt trackers in the world. And now before we start, let's go trackside, who's Danny Medine's caught up with our pole setter. Danny?
Thanks, you guys. Kenny Coolbet Jr., you're going to have to do some dominant laps out here, but how important is this start going to be to put together a good race and take the top spot on the podium?
I do need to get a good start and, just kind of pick off laps. Hopefully we can get out front and, get some good laps and stay out of trouble, hopefully.
This track suits Kenny's style, so you guys, take it away.
They're going to get 2 warm-up laps, Bill. All right, Kenny Coolbeth's putting his helmet on. He seems like he's pretty confident. He's your pick. He looks like he's ready to go. 2 laps are going to give him to check out the racetrack. It's been a little while. They did some track maintenance, and I think that's a good move by AMA Pro Racing.
Yeah, the track's undergone a lot of changes. Many of the riders have been sitting around for a couple hours or more with the issues that we had. Give them a little chance to get the adrenaline flowing a little bit, get a good look at the racetrack. They did put a little water down in a couple spots to kind of keep the dust down. It's a good move. All
right, let's go trackside once again. Danny's caught up to the jammer. Danny?
Thanks, you guys. Jared Mees, you're our current points leader. What is it going to take for you to chase down the King of Cool?
Well, hopefully I can get a good start and just have him chase me. I got a good taste of him in the dash, and he's rolling really good. So, if he gets ahead of me, hopefully I can maybe learn something and make something happen. But he's definitely the guy to beat right now.
All right, good luck to you. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. The jammer's pretty determined. He's trying to get his first victory of the season. We're halfway through, and he doesn't have a victory yet, but he's been so consistent. That's why he has the points lead.
Yeah, he's been the model of consistency so far this year. Anytime you're leading the points, you want to hold on to that point lead, but I know deep down these guys want to win races too. You're going to see which part of that weighs out. If you know, looking at the big picture here, Mees doesn't have to beat Coolbeth. He's 22 points ahead of him right now, so giving up 4 here tonight. But I know with a little bit of support, Black Hills Harley-Davidson on the number 1 bike, and Nicole being out, his wife, he'd like to carry one for the home team tonight as well.
So they are going to take 2 laps to check out the racetrack, and then we'll stage them up and go racing. It'll be a 25-lap Grand National main event. Again, 2 laps to check the racetrack, and they're getting ready to send them around right about now. They'll start with the inside. Vanderkoy is going to lead him into the corner. That's not because that's where he was qualified, but Kenny Coolbeth, the guy started on the outside. That looks like the fastest first picks, always going to the outside. Is that a good move?
I think it is. Track has a little bit more moisture up on the outside part of the racetrack and allows you to have a little bit of room to kind of go up the track and get your momentum going through turns 1 and 2. Race line is up high. You're closer to the racing line by starting up on the outside of the racetrack.
It seemed like, Chris, though, that a lot of the guys in the center of the track have been getting good starts.
They've been getting to the corner, and we've seen a lot of hole shots from the middle. You know, maybe a lot of these guys can't see the start, see where these guys are going from the pit area. But I think in a 25-lap race, while the start is important, it's not as important as establishing a good rhythm and finding your line that works good and exploiting it for as long as you can until it may or may not change. We should see with 18 750s out here, we should see the track go through a little bit of change. We see a little bit of moisture, a little shiny there on the outer part of the front straightaway where they kind of rolled it in a little bit. You know, down here on the inside, we see track's a little bit drier here in the middle, not so bad. Outside, you know, looks okay. I think these guys would just want to take off more for position on the racetrack than whether or not it gets you to the corner first.
So they were saying on the radio that it looked a little bit slick down there in 1 and 2, but they are going to line them up and go. Brian Smith's giving a thumbs down. Some of the guys on the second row are giving them thumbs.
Going to give them, looks like they're going to give them 1 more lap.
2 more laps, maybe. I can't tell. 1 or 2. Okay, so they're going to give them a couple.
Maybe burn that in a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit too much moisture. It's a little bit slick on the edge of the racing surface. So they're giving them a couple more laps again to get the track ready. Is fuel a factor on a half mile for 25 laps? It's nothing like what we've been doing on the miles.
No, these guys will be fine. They're not going to be holding them wide open for 15 minutes. A 25-lap race here is going to take probably a little bit less than 8 minutes. So fuel consumption should not be a problem at all.
All right, so again, a couple of laps just to make sure the track's ready to go. A few people, actually, they just gave them 1 lap, so.
They wanted to ride through the part that was slippery. They didn't get a complete lap around on the part that was slippery.
Right,
so
that's why they wanted to give them another lap, so they're going to send them around again. So make sure that the wet spot gets worked in turn number 1, then they're going to turn them loose. So doing what they can out there.
Me's gonna go. I'm gonna go a whole lap and run through here.
Yeah, that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit slick going into turn number 1 where they put that moisture down, and looks like the 29 pulls off early. That is Mattia. I think that's the only bike he has. So, oh no, he's working on a steel shoe. Okay, all right, good. So that's Jake Mattia, the 29. He's an ice racing national champion. They said he goes really good on the ice.
Well, you know, being from
Minnesota, I hope so,
Minnesota, all the frozen ponds available in the wintertime. I'm sure going to an indoor hockey rink is like going on a summer vacation when it comes to for him.
Yeah.
We know Jared Mees did that quite a few years as well, winning a couple of indoor ice championships. So.
So they stopped up there, talked to Rick Tibbetts, who's our flag man, talked to Matt Dayringer up there in the front row. They said the track's good to go. If it's good with Kenny, it's good with Jared. They said that's got to be good for everybody else. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, 25-lap Grand National main event. Wyatt McGuire takes off the wrong direction. And you shift these Harleys on the right side. Looks like he's having troubles putting it in the gear that he's looking for. You can see him shifting with the heel of his right foot.
Yeah, it's weird with the right-hand shift on these things. Some of them have opposite patterns. So he's certainly having an issue here getting the thing going.
So he stopped over there trying to talk to his mechanics. He's trying to get it in the neutral. That's the Weebler's Harley-Davidson. Weebler's is a Harley shop out there in Iowa. So they've asked for 2 minutes. And that, according to the AMA rulebook right now, you still have 2 minutes. You switch motorcycles or get at the tail end of the field or let's go. So he's still having trouble getting into gear. I don't know if he's got a backup bike he can switch to. What do you do right here? Put it in first? Is that if you're starting in it and just go?
Well, most of the guys on the Harleys here with half-mile gearing are probably starting in second gear.
Yeah, he's just having a heck of a time getting in the right gear. If you reach down there with your hand, I would have done that, right?
I have done that, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Looks like he's having a hard time finding neutral.
Yeah, anything. So I bet it's not all the way down to the.
Sometimes the shift patterns, you know, are
up and then shift down to go higher, right?
Yes. One up is first and then down is second.
Looks like it keeps bopping into gear. I think that's what happened right there. They went about 5 feet. It just looked like it jumped into gear again. So he said, start me up, let's go.
They're going to have to try it start it with the clutch in so they can get moving.
Will it start with the clutch in?
It certainly did that time.
Okay, all right. So where's he going? Let's go. He's doing whatever he can to get it in the right gear. Hopefully he gets it down into the gear he wants to start in. He's going to pull up to the line. Bet his heart's racing at 110 miles an hour. It's time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen, here in Rapid City, South Dakota. 75th Annual Sturgis Rally. It's time for our GNC1 main event. A bike pulls off the second line.
We got one of our water-cooled Kawasaki's waiting on the Harley. They're starting to heat up. They get it going. They should be okay here.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the green light. 25 laps. Grand National main event, and we are off. Van der Kooi pulls the front wheel from the inside. He goes absolutely nowhere.
Jared Mees up front. Gets a good run through the middle of turns 1 and 2.
Pearson in second, and looks like Coolbeth right there in the third spot. Down the back straight we go. Now here comes Halbert, takes over the second spot on the 7. He's bringing the 44 of Robinson with him. Robinson up the inside. He's trying to take over second spot. Leader's going to try to check out. It's Jared Mees to lead lap number 1. Battle for second. It's the 44 and the 7.
That's nearly 10 bike length lead on the very first lap. Good first circuit for Jared Mees. Coolbeth runs up into the third position coming off of turn 2. He was back in 5th a lap ago. He doesn't want to let that number 1 get too far away as he goes up and takes over the line from the 44 on the Triumph of Brandon Robinson. See if Kenny Coolbeth has the speed to march down our leader.
How many laps before that rear rotor starts
we just saw the number 6 at the back of the field, Brad Baker, having some issues slowing on the front straightaway. Tough break for our championship contender, factory Harley rider here in during Harley-Davidson Bike Week.
How many laps before the rotor starts glowing red on the number 2, and how many laps will it last? That's how he rides these clay half miles. The number 6 is off on the backstretch, slow down the back straightaway. Mees trying to pull away. Last time he was lead by 1.05 seconds, and the timing and scoring is updating right now. And it looks like Halbert had his hands full with the number 7 handlebars coming off at 2, as he's got the big 44 right in front of him. Baker trying to get out of harm's way. He's inside turn 3 and 4 right now. Halbert looking to go around the outside of Robinson. Doesn't quite make the pass. Robinson still in third. It's Mees, Coolbeth, Robinson, Halbert, Breyer Bauman, your top 5.
Well, we see up a great battle here for third, but we see Coolbeth all over the racetrack trying to find an alternate line to what he was running earlier. The track has changed. You know, he's probably changing some gearing a little bit. Not able to creep forward on Kenny Coolbeth. Best lap last time, we cut a couple tenths out of him, but he's going all up and down the inside to the top of this racetrack trying to gain time on the number 1.
And you have to figure out on your own. There's no speedometer, there's no tachometer, there's no stopwatches, you have no communication with your crew. So you got to figure out what felt the fastest, and that's hard to do.
Correctly, and you know, and also you got to kind of gauge if you're gaining time, and it looks like Coolbeth inched into it a little bit on this last lap.
Here comes the 14 of Breyer Bauman. He's working the bottom side on that Kawasaki. He's looking to go underneath into the third spot. He goes underneath Sammy and the 44 Robinson. Here comes Breyer Bauman up to third.
He kind of cut off a lot of racetrack. There's a nice big wide brown patch on the low side of in the middle of turns 1 and 2. He's able to get a good run.
Sammy is very smart, so is Robinson. If they see where Breyer's running, do you think they'll drop down there? Because Brian Smith's running down there too.
Yeah, Brian slips up a little bit that time, gets cut back underneath by the number 80 of Steve Bonzi. These guys are chasing away from the blue. The blue part of the racetrack's the slippery part. The brown part's where the grip is. Wow. As Halbert gets a good turn coming off the inside of the 44 Triumph down the front straightaway, can't quite get by. But Breyer Bauman getting away from this group in this battle for third as Kenny Coolbeth continues to inch forward toward the number 1 at the front.
Another bike off the pace. I can't see who it is. Nobody's reported who it is, but Jared Mees is checked out. Last time he was ahead by 0.97 seconds. So Coolbeth is starting to close the gap just a little bit. There goes another rider goes on by the 44. So Sammy finally makes his pass on the 44, and now Bonzi got out of the way. And now here comes Sammy up the inside. Bonzi goes back to the bottom on the TCR Harley.
Good run for Steve Bonzi. Best run on a twin so far this year on the TCR Harley, up into the 4th position. He would see if he can run down his friend from Salinas, Briar Bauman. Steve Bonzi doing a good job here tonight.
10 laps in the books. It is Mees. Now Coolbeth looks like he's trying the low line again that he was running in qualifying. And the leader has lost the lead now he's only leading by 0.76 seconds. So Coolbeth definitely catching up to our leader. It's Mees, Coolbeth, Bauman, Bouncy in 4th, Halbert, Brandon Robinson, Brian Smith, Wyatt McGuire, Doug Lawrence, and Henry Wiles rounds out the top 10.
Well, at the front here, Jared seems to have a nice rhythm up front. Coolbeth chasing around. You see the orange glow coming from the rear rotor. See if that has any effect of him with him long term that last lap. Mees gets away just a little bit of a tick, but Coolbeth starting to cut off a little bit of the corners, starting to eat into the lead just a little bit by little bit. He's got 14 laps to go to get to the front.
And for you Mikey Martin fans, he is off of the pace and he is off the racetrack. The 91 now off the track, and the battle for the lead is getting close. It's now down to 0.65 seconds, so about a half a second between first and second. The 1 and the 2.
The 1 and the 2, and I tell you what, Kenny Coolbeth has had a very, very tough last 4 or 5 weeks. You know, led up to about the 4th race of the series, lost a lot of points with some mechanicals on the miles, a 5th place finish here, a 3rd place finish there. He is chomping at the bit to win another race.
He's coming, ladies and gentlemen. So it's Mees out front, Coolbeth in 2nd, Briar Bauman still in the 3rd spot. 4th, it is Bonzi. 5th is Sammy Halbert. 6th is Brian Smith. Wyatt McGuire's up to 7th after having the problems with it getting in gear. Robinson's dropped all the way back to 8th, Doug Lawrence 9th, and Henry Wiles rounds out your top 10.
Coolbeth inches up forward a little bit, still about a half a second back. Rips a tear off down the back straightaway, says, all right, I need some clean vision here. Let's see if I can run the number 1 down. But Jared Mees hasn't altered his line more than maybe a foot or two the entire race so far. Doesn't need to. Running nice, consistent, rhythmic laps. Coolbeth doing everything he can to cut off some racetrack, riding really hard. Sometimes that pays dividends, some laps it doesn't.
Yeah, so one good thing, too, that I've noticed is Jared hasn't even taken a look over his shoulder. He's got to know there's fast guys out there. Another bike slow off of turn number 4. No harm, no foul. Let's keep racing. So now Mees has a commanding lead again. Last time by 0.8 seconds. And now it looks like it's a little bit bigger, and these two have checked out. Here's Briar, and Bauman's got his hands full back here for the 3rd spot with the number 80 of Stevie Bonzi.
Stevie Bonzi on the TCR Racing. I saw Nick Cummins pushing his bike out the line. These guys just got together about 3 races ago, I think during the Lima weekend. Good to see them battling it out. Best finish for Bonzi here in a while. Let's see if he can carry it through and find himself on the podium here.
The 49 off the track. He had a mechanical issue, so you folks to listen at home, I know Jody Johnson's listening, and the 49 off the track, he did not go down, so we're going to keep on running. This is the battle for 3rd we're looking at. It's Bauman and Bonzi. A couple of California riders, both from Salinas, battling back here for 3rd and 4th. Who's going to get on the podium? We're about 7 laps away from the finish of this one. And it's a good battle for 3rd.
And they're running diverse lines. You're seeing the Harley line and you're seeing the Kawasaki line here. Bauman doing the best job of anybody on a Kawasaki in this race today. Runs the line, finding moisture, getting the bike turned. Bonzi keeping his momentum up, running the thing around the outside, getting it going. But Briar Bauman, good job on this bike. We see Smith, typically week in and week out, the best Kawasaki rider. Distance 6th at the moment.
And it looks like Briar's bike starting to smoke just a little bit, the 14. Remember, this is his 3rd different motorcycle, showing some smoke right there. And I also noticed that Bonzi has actually dropped down and was trying to run Bauman's line. Looks like now he's following him. That may not be a good thing if that thing's smoking. 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Still Mees and Coolbeth. The lead is now 0.7 seconds. And Bauman's starting to smoke a little bit more on that 14 bike.
Not sure what the cause of that is we start to get into a little bit of lap traffic here. The number 1, Kenny Coolbeth, inches forward. Number 1 having to deal with the 23 of Carver here, see if he can get by him clean. Now Coolbeth will have to deal with him as well.
Looks like he had to go around him right there at the 2nd. So it's Mees right now. 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Half a second lead from Mees and Coolbeth. Looks like Coolbeth didn't get around Carver just as good as Mees did. So that kind of it worked for a second, then it didn't work coming off of 2. So it's still Mees. 4 laps to go. It's Mees out front. 2nd is Coolbeth. 3rd is Bauman. 4th is Bonzi on the 80. 5th is Sammy Halbert, Brian Smith, Wyatt McGuire, Robbie Pearson, Wiles, and Doug Lawrence rounds out your top 10. We're just about done, Chris.
Just about here, but it looks like Bauman is gapped Bonzi solid in the 3rd spot here with 2.5 laps to go. And Jared Mees opens his gap up to almost a full 2nd. So Coolbeth might be in cruise control mode now, but looking like a wire-to-wire victory here for the number 1 as Jared Mees takes a little peek over his shoulder, kind of gauges how far back the number 2 of Coolbeth is. He's going to just try and keep hitting his marks. Very rhythmic race. I haven't seen him kind of hardly turn a wheel wrong the entire main event.
White flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. 4-year leader, a half mile to go for Jared Mees, looking for his first win of the season, which will be his 16th of his career, and it's going to happen right here in Rapid City, South Dakota during Bike Week out here in Sturgis. It's Mees, 1 or 2 more corners to go. It's Mees on the 1. He's going to lead him from start to finish. Got the whole shot and checked out. Jared Mees takes the win. The double checkered flags are in the air. He looked back, said nothing happening. Coolbeth takes 2nd. Look how far out in front they were. There's a lap right of Carver. There's the 3rd spot, the 44 of Bauman. 4th is Bonzi. And the rest of the gang can see how happy Jared Mees is. We'll give you a full field rundown in just a second. Mees is ecstatic.
He should be, this point leader here. He's been point leader for a few weeks now, hasn't won a race. He knows how hard Kenny Tolbert's been working on his motorcycles, especially his milers. To come out here and dominate this from wire to wire, that's a championship performance right there. Your point leader going off and running off in the distance, beating, the guy I considered the favorite, Kenny Coolbeth, on the type of track that he's been a stud on. But Jared Mees is looking for somebody to haul around the racetrack. I wouldn't be surprised if that isn't Terry Reimer.
Probably so, but he's trying to get him over there. He said, hurry up. So your winner, it's the jammer Jared Mees by 1.27 seconds over Kenny Coolbeth in 2nd. Briar Bauman, a solid 3rd place finish. Even though it started to smoke there a little bit at the end, still finishes in that 3rd spot. The 80 Stevie Bonzi will be credited with 4th. Sammy Halbert 5th. Brian Smith 6th. Robbie Pearson 7th. Wyatt McGuire 8th. Henry Wiles 9th, Doug Lawrence 10th, Brandon Robinson 11th, Jake Mattia up to 12th. I believe that might be one of his career best on a twin. Dominic Lendrez on his 2nd ever Grand National on the twin in the 13th spot. Jared Vandekoy 14th, Jeffrey Carver 15th, Chad Coase credited with 16th, Mikey Martin 17th, and the Bullet, Brad Baker, had a mechanical issue early on. Not sure who they're trying to get out there.
They're waving somebody out there. They've saved a seat. Not sure who this is. But, man, that's a big boy on the back of that motorcycle with Jared Mees, I promise you.
He's going to make that thing a lowrider.
Yeah.
Man, it makes Jared look tiny.
Well, Jared is tiny.
I know, but wow. So Jared Mees picks up his 16th career win. We appreciate everybody for coming out. Please be careful when you leave here. Most of you aren't going home, but please ride safe, ride smart. The cops are out there looking for you. So are them other guys in those 4-wheel machines. So be careful if you're leaving here. The pits will be open in just a moment, and you can meet your favorite rider, get some autographs, stop by, get the souvenir t-shirt. I believe there's a few left, so stop by and get one while you can, and head on down to the pits. In just a second, we'll have our victory podium interview with Danny Medine. She's going to have the winner, Mees, Coolbeth, and Bauman's up there. Bauman's running a super low line on that Kawasaki and making it work.
Yeah, he certainly did a great job. And 2nd podium finish for Briar Bauman this year on the half miles. They certainly have that Kawasaki working real well for that young rider. And good job, number 1, Jared Mees. Didn't quite expect this out of him, but I'm not surprised either. You get a number 1 plate for a reason. Sometimes you got to rise to the occasion. He certainly rise to the occasion tonight.
I don't know that he can get to the victory podium going this direction.
Not from there, he can't.
Watch out for that GoPro. Okay, GoPro camera stay down. Now it looks like he's gonna take another victory lap. Yep. That's your old mechanic.
Kenny Tolbert, definitely.
Yep. Well, now he's trying to find somebody else. Nope, Sammy Sweet's gonna get the victory lap.
Well, let's see if he does another one.
Well, let's see if I go down there. Maybe if I go down there, I'll get one too. I'm just kidding. A well-earned victory lap for Sammy Sweet that puts in a lot of hard work, just like Kenny Tolbert and everybody on that team. And they're showing you why they're the defending champion and our current points leader. Again, Jared Mees picking up the win, rider from Clio, Michigan. On the number 1 bike, sponsored by Las Vegas Harley-Davidson, Rogers Racing, Harley-Davidson Motor Company, SDI, and others. That's just the first few that I have listed here on our sign-up sheets. Again, the pits will be open in just a second as soon as all the bikes get cooled down a little bit. The Dunlop Tire Victory Podium coming up in just a second. Beautiful trophies. Never seen anything like them.
That was pretty cool. See if Jared's going to make it into the infield this lap around.
Nope.
Oh,
Missed the turn.
Missed the turn again.
We're going to be out here all night.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have a third person. We can get to talk to him about his victory here in a second.
He's going to do a burnout.
Oh, there we go.
He's going to do a burnout for you fans. Make some noise here in Sturgis. He's shifting through the gears. There's the burnout. What do you guys think? Make some noise. All right. Wish we could hear that.
I heard it.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
You're smiling ear to ear. You're loving it.
Hey, it's that's a great way. We haven't seen one of those yet this year, and no better place for somebody on a Harley to get a victory and do a burnout for the fans.
You only won 78 Grand Nationals. Did you ever do a burnout like that?
Yes, I did actually. I just don't remember where it was.
I was gonna say I was trying to remember if I was there or not, but I don't remember you doing one of those. So.
It might have been one. I don't know.
Who knows? 78's a lot. You'd lose track.
Yeah, but again, dominating performance by the number 1.
All right, let's go trackside. Give him just a second. Jared Mees picking up his 16th career Grand National victory and the first of the season, stretching out that points lead just a little bit. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine. Danny?
All right, thanks, you guys. Jared Mees celebrating victory in true fashion out here at the Black Hills Speedway. Jared, that has to feel pretty good getting your first win of the season. Take us through that race.
You know, I just really wanted to win one so bad. You know, I hated hearing, hey, he hasn't won his race yet, you know, and how cool to do it here at the 75th anniversary Black Hills Harley-Davidson. This track was so awesome. You know, Terry Reimer, for him, you know, to come back and bring us back and to win this race, Harley-Davidson Motor Company. It was awesome, you know, and I know I needed to get a good start and run my own race, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, honestly, I look back and see Kenny was there, and I'm like, golly, with 23 laps in, 2 to go, and he's right there. I mean, you know, if the tables would have been flipped, it's hard to say what would have happened, but that start saved me, and the motorcycle ran so good, and it felt so good to get that first win. It's just so good.
You have an awesome team behind you. Who can you thank?
I have an amazing team. Big thank you to Kenny Tolbert and Sammy Sweet. Them guys are just awesome. The whole Rogers Racing, Las Vegas, Harley-Davidson, Bell Ray, Twin Power, Oakley Goggles, Millennium Technologies, Monster Energy Drink, Bell Helmets, Bullet Jeans, National Cycle, just a huge list, Saddleman, Millennium Technologies, SDI Installation, Blue Springs. The list is so big. Recluse Clutches. Man, I got off the whole shot, and it was thank you that I had that Recluse clutch in, because I got to the first corner and there was no one around. A huge thanks for D&D Exhaust. Them guys work so hard on building custom exhaust systems for us. Race Tech Suspension, Weiss Racing, SKF Seals, Bell Ray, if I forgot them. Everybody, just I can't say enough for my entire team. Otten Racing, KW Speedway, the list goes on, and thank you.
Congratulations. Black Hills Speedway, make some noise. And I'm going to step on over to Kenny Coolbeth Jr. You have to be pretty happy with second place, chasing down Jared Mees, but you're back up here after a tough couple weekends.
Yeah, not really happy, but I'm happy. You know, the team works hard for every event, so I'm happy and a little bit bummed out. I would catch Jared and fall back, catch him and fall back, but you know, we caught him there probably like 6 laps to go or whatever, and pretty closest we were the whole race, and the lap rider kind of shafted us a little bit, and it's racing, you know. He did what he had to do, and he's a great competitor, and that's why he has that #1 place. So I just want to thank all you fans that came out and you know, enjoyed this. You know, hopefully next year we come back and you know, put on another good show. I'd like to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank Zanotti Racing, Dave Zanotti, Dave Atherton, and his wife Vicky. They're great people, and I'm honored to see them every weekend. So, you know, the list goes on. Like Jared said, Monster Energy, DC. He's probably sitting home in California on his boat, having a cocktail. And how you doing, man? I want to say hi to my wife and my little boy. Hopefully they're still up and watched it. You know, the list goes on. Harley-Davidson Motor Company, Weisco. You know, it's a list that goes on, and it all pays off, and the people work hard for me.
And that's how you get up on the podium. Congratulations, Kenny Coolbet Jr. on second place. We're going to step on over to our third place, Briar Bauman. You have been up here before, but it has been a long time. You have to be feeling pretty good with third place.
Oh, man, I feel amazing, really. This was the longest day we've been through in a long time. We ran through motorcycles, tires, wheels, everything you could change on a bike we changed. And James and I had a lot of confidence in what we were doing, and he trusts me, I trust him, and we never gave up on each other. So to end up on the podium from the third row is huge. So I can't thank everyone enough.
Tell us about this great team behind you.
Yeah, I can't thank USC Hart Racing enough. They've been behind me the whole time, along with Stevens Racing, Hot Shot Motorworks, Platinum Pools, Drew Massa Transportation, Arai Helmets, Works Nations, G2 Ergonomics, Cometic Gaskets, Klotz, Weisco. The list goes on and on. Motion Pro, Saddlemen. There's so many people that are behind us the whole time, and they believe in us the whole time. So to put it up here for them, it really means a lot to me.
Every one of these guys has proven that perseverance pays off. Can we hear it one more time for our Harley-Davidson GNC1 presented by Vance Hines, Black Hills Speedway half-mile podium finishers.
Good job, Danny. Congratulations to Jared Mees picking up his 16th Grand National victory and his first of the season, extending out his points lead now to 137 to 119. Brian Smith moves up to second in the points. Sammy Halbert now currently in the third in the points. We appreciate everyone for coming out here to the Black Hills Harley-Davidson Grand National presented by Dunlop Tires. Remember, the pits are open. Please be careful going in the pits. Everybody have a great time. Have a tremendous Sturgis, the 75th Sturgis Rally. On behalf of Danny Medine, the 7-time champ Chris Carr, I'm Scotty Dubler. We'll see you guys in Peoria, Illinois, August the 16th at Thunder Valley.